Born on Nar Shaddaa in the year 51 BBY, Aurra Sing was a mixed-species bounty hunter who rose to prominence in the years leading to the Clone Wars. Although originally a Jedi student under the tutelage of the Dark Woman, Aurra Sing would go on to leave the Jedi Order, be taken by Hutts, and given to Unzeti assassins to be trained as a killer. Murdering her then Hutt master after the completion of her training, she would go on to make herself into a feared bounty hunter, and a notorious Jedi hunter. Following a failed mission on the planet Deveron, Sing was defeated in combat by the Jedi Aayla Secura and captured by the Republic. Freed by Darth Vader shortly after the conclusion of the Clone Wars, she served under Palpatine as an agent until the fall of the Empire at the hands of the Rebel Alliance. Re-establishing herself as a gun for hire, she would again lose her freedom when a botched mission would pit her against Han and Leia Solo, as well as their son, Jason. Defeated, she was held on the starship Anakin Solo. Her ultimate fate is unknown. Born on the hostile planet Roosterteeth, Asajj Ventress did not have a happy childhood. The only child to two Roosterteeth warlords, she would also be the only survivor of a systemized slaughter instigated by rivals of her family. Orphaned, she was taken in by an unlikely subject, a Jedi named Kai Narek, who would attempt to instruct her in the ways of the light. But unfortunately, tragedy struck once more. The murder of her beloved master pushed Ventress to the dark side. Enraged, she conquered her own homeworld, catching the attention of Count Dooku. Taking her as his personal apprentice and making her a lieutenant in the Separatist army, Ventress would face many Jedi in her career, including the famed Obi-Wan Kenobi, with whom she would form a powerful rivalry. Near the war's end, Republic forces would track a Separatist base to the planet Boz Pity, where Ventress lie in wait. Engaging Kenobi and Skywalker, she would wait too long as Republic forces pushed forward. Now seeing Ventress as a liability, Count Dooku ordered her gunned down to prevent her capture and interrogation. Betrayed and abandoned once again, Ventress expressed remorse for her actions to Obi-Wan, as she seemingly fell into death. But in reality, she survived. Awaking on her medical transport, she ordered the pilots to just fly away from the Jedi and away from Dooku. Her ultimate fate is unknown. Hello YouTube, this is Matthew Jones bringing you my first ever lightsaber versus video, the first of many I hope. I've just wanted to do this for a long time, especially with these two characters. As you probably noticed, they share a lot of similarities with each other, and it just seemed like the perfect matchup. Now, first and foremost, I want to tell you that I will be addressing the TCW canon when talking about Ventress, and every other character I will do, I just happen to like her Legends canon better. Now, as for my videos themselves, like with every other lightsaber versus series you've probably seen before, I will be comparing their physical characteristics, dueling abilities, etc. individually, and then summarizing them before I render my verdict. Now, I will also be breaking up these parts into individual videos simply because the video editor I use gets a little glitchy if the videos get too long, so yeah. That's probably it. So without further ado, I bring you Asajj Ventress versus Aurra Sing. Born to a human mother and unidentified alien father, Aurra Sing was a humanoid female in her mid-70s by the time of her final capture. Her mother was human, and although the species of her father has never been confirmed in any source, we can still make observations to determine her physiological attributes. Her most notable features were her pale skin, dark sunken eyes, tall, slender build, and unusually long fingers, roughly double the length of an average human's. Despite her lanky appearance, Sing is well-muscled and possesses impressive physical strength. In fact, she has been shown forcibly bending the metallic gun arm of a droideka towards its own head, and the novel Star Wars Coruscant Nights 2 describes the force of Sing's lightsaber blows being able to stagger the famed Jedi Jax Paven. Perhaps her most outstanding trait, aside from the cosmetic, is her incredibly long lifespan. Despite being in her 70s in her final appearances, she is described as appearing no older than she did during the Clone Wars, several decades earlier.
This longevity also seems to stem into her stamina. She claims in the Coruscant Nights series to ward off fatigue much longer than the average humanoid, and she was able to keep fighting at full capacity longer than Jax Paven in their duel.
Moving forward, she has also been endowed with a ridiculous level of resilience. Not only can she brush off a light beating, not only can she practically ignore taking rocks and debris to her eyes, not only can she keep fighting after taking a gaffy stick to the jaw, not only can she seamlessly power through Jacen Solo dislocating her kneecap, she is capable of taking a giant frickin' boulder to the face. She didn't just avoid being outright crushed to death, but was able to dominate a Sherrod Het in a lightsaber duel shortly afterwards, with the aid of nothing but a short respite. What? She possessed impressive speed, able to move faster than droids can perceive and leaving after images in her wake. She was a capable acrobat and demonstrated a high amount of dexterity. Perhaps her most notable advantages were her mechanical implants given to her by the Inzati. The first was a biocomputer implanted in her brain. Working in conjunction with her force abilities, it fed her sensory data, increasing her situational awareness. Her second implant, both a valued tool and her only true weakness, was a long antenna that protruded from her head. It allowed her to pick up on and literally feed off the fear she induced in her victims, no doubt an extension of her Inzati training, and it gave her a thrill for the kill. However, it was also an obvious target. If broken or severed, it caused excruciating, maybe even incapacitating pain. Depending on which canon you subscribe to, Asajj Ventress is either a female Ratataki or female Dathomiri in her late 20s to early 30s. However, since both species are near human with no dramatic physiological differences, it doesn't really matter. Her defining traits are her pale skin and bald head. Other than that, she is no different than the average human female in the midst of her physical prime. Her speed and acrobatic abilities are her most defined skills. She incorporates flips and kicks into her lightsaber sequences with laughable ease, and despite the labor intensity of her fighting style, she has never been depicted suffering from undue fatigue. Her resilience is passable. She is able to endure a light beating, albeit with some noticeable difficulty, but she is easily brought to her knees by force lightning, and although she is able to survive being shot, electrocuted, and thrown off a cliff, she is incapable of continuing a fight under such conditions. Her strength is, again, passable. She is able to contend with the likes of Anakin Skywalker and Savage Opress when fighting under her own terms, but crumbles under the pressure when forced to take it head-on. All in all, her physical strength is average. Not bad, just nothing to write home about. This was relatively simple to call, though I will of course explain. Right off the bat, I can say that Ventress gets the edge in speed and acrobatics, while Sing gets the edge in almost everything else. And then there's the antenna, which is a debilitating weak spot, one that Ventress does not possess. But while this is the case, Sing's own speed can contend with Ventress's and prevent her from getting her hands on it. Furthermore, Sing's other capabilities more than make up for one weakness. So, keeping the wild card in mind, I nevertheless give the slight edge to Aurra Sing for her physical capabilities.